we have gotten so pigeonholed with Bitcoin being a store of value versus a medium of exchange, and where we might be missing the mark there. And because to be frank, I treat it like everybody treats it today. In terms of it being a store of value, I'm not really spending it. So
Yeah.
I guess I don't know, right, wrong, or indifferent. It just seems like that's the best way to do it. However, I
Yeah.
will admit it is a efficient way to move money, multinationally, more efficiently than any other means that I know of today. From that respect, if
Yeah.
somebody has a Coinbase wallet, I have a Coinbase wallet, and they're in Africa and I'm here in the U.S., this is probably the fastest way. But I don't know. I don't know why we're so afraid. Like I I'm afraid, to be frank, but I don't know why. I guess so.
What,
Yeah,
afraid to sell?
yeah. I don't want to sell it.
Not just internationally, but I had something where I was trying to transfer money from one of my bank accounts to another bank account, and it took so long. Like I was expecting it to show up the next day or the day after, and it took like 5 days before it finally
With
like
Bitcoin or the money?
money with US dollars.
Uh,
So sorry, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that Bitcoin is good for any of these things, not just international things, but
I'll just
settling
wait for
any
Fed now
sort.
to get implemented, and it'll be
Exactly.
instantaneous.
Yeah.
Solve all
Yep.
your
Next
problems.
next month. Can't wait to have that episode in July.
Yeah, but no, I mean, this is kind of interesting. So this is kind of the problem with narratives in a way. It's like, so a narrative is, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Um, so like the stock to flow model, they say like Bitcoin's going to 100K because of all these numbers, and everybody starts buying in because they believe that, and then that just becomes like the reality, even if it was totally made up. And Bitcoin didn't go to 100K, but if it did, I mean, it would have just been a self fulfilling prophecy, because there was no actual reality kind of backing that whole theory up. Um, and so this is kind of the same thing. They say, okay, Bitcoin is digital gold, meaning that, what do you do with gold? It's a store of value. You hold it. You don't spend it, but it does hold value. So Bitcoin becomes digital gold. Bitcoin becomes a store of value, and then that's the way everybody thinks. And then it just becomes hodl. All the memes are telling you to hold and not to sell, and and then before you know it, like that just becomes the reality. Now nobody wants to actually use Bitcoin as currency, which is a problem if you want it to be a medium of exchange. So yeah, so now Bitcoin has basically, like you said, Matt, before the podcast, it's like they don't want Bitcoin to be spent on anything anymore. It used to be Bitcoin was basically the money that all the criminals used to buy and sell stuff on the black market, because it had so many advantages over using digital dollars, right? And now they don't like any sort of what you might call scams, like the NFTs and stuff. They don't want this was what I guess Udi was explaining in that video. Maybe we can link that in the description. But he was basically saying, like, why don't we use Bitcoin? Why can't we get OpenSea to allow people to buy NFTs with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoiners don't like NFTs, so they wouldn't want you spending money in Bitcoin. But it's like, okay, let's say NFTs are a scam, and in many cases, a lot of them are scams, right? Or all these other cryptocurrencies are scams. People should be allowed to buy scams with their money. Like, why can't we implement so we can actually use Bitcoin in all these cases? But they don't like NFTs. They don't like, the digital economy, all the people who would know how to use Bitcoin. They don't want them using Bitcoin to participate in the economies that they want to participate in. And it's like, okay, what are we going to buy Bitcoin? What are we going to buy with Bitcoin? Basically nothing, because you just hold Bitcoin. It's a store of value, right? So that's really is the problem. It's like Bitcoin maximalism is like a Bitcoin death cult in a way. Like, you just buy Bitcoin, you don't sell it, and then even like Michael
Then you die
Saylor
with your
comes out, like,
keys.
then you die with your keys. So you never
Exactly.
use it at all through the whole life stage.
And
It-
the ETFs are going to jam that up even more because it's going to be like, well, why would I sell this?
Yeah.
Because basically it's the gold complex, you know.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that like Bitcoin is a death cult. I mean that it's like Bitcoin is killing itself in a way because
yeah,
the
yeah,
end of Bitcoin is basically to not use it
yeah,
somehow.
yeah. I think so. Gosh, I had a couple of thoughts there. So that was Udi's point. This was a Udi, the I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's one of the Taproot Wizard guys, right? You all know him. Him and Eric were dressed as wizards at the Bitcoin Miami conference, right, during that ordinals debate. Anyway, he it was like an interview from like a year ago, and he was saying Bitcoin is a digital currency, right? It's natively digital, right? It's not this is the way it works, right? And we can't even like it used to be back in the 2018 bull run. Everything was denominated in Bitcoin. Any trading pairs were something versus Bitcoin on exchanges, and he's like yeah, but now like you're saying, NFTs are bought and priced in Ethereum or Solana, and so yeah, his point was it it was meant to be a digital currency, and it can't like there's no there is a digital economy now, but it's not built around Bitcoin. It's the dumbest thing. There's no digital economy, right? And NFTs are really, I mean, a kind of a circular economy, right? There's no like pulling, there's no real goods being transferred. Everything's digital.
Yeah.
And it's a mess. And so it's cool that I'm with him. And I think ordinals are really cool in this way, because now you are seeing ordinals that are, they're priced in Satoshis, and they're, being exchanged via Bitcoin. But it's just a great point, right? Bitcoin, he said Bitcoin can't even support a digital economy, the digital economy. Like, how's it going to become the world currency, or the world store of value, or, anything else? So, and it is interesting on this point. I have seen a good number of tweets where, people are like, AI is going to be great for Bitcoin because AI is going to recognize computer money, which is Bitcoin. And it's like, no, but you guys don't even recognize Bitcoin as computer money. Like, you guys, you guys see it as digital gold, or as, whatever, another store of value. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny. And now I'm going to go and reply to all those tweets and say, you don't even see,